Little Kansas Kitty, and I welcome you back to my journey. I had the RNY gastric bypass surgery on June 25th, 2018, so this marks my 36-week post-op update. I started off my high weight at 238 pounds. I'm 5'6", I'm 38 years old, and last week I came to you and I weighed 144. This week, I come to you and I weigh 143. So that's a 1 pound loss in the last week, and that brings me down a grand total of 95 pounds down. 95 pounds down. That's just 5 pounds away from my personal ultimate goal of reaching 100 pounds lost since the start of this journey. I am in a healthy, normal BMI, and I also have given myself a maintenance range, which I'm in. My maintenance range is 138 pounds to 145 pounds, and I'm at 143. When I get to 138, we're going to celebrate because that will have brought me from 238 down to 138, a total of 100 pounds. And I have a feeling though that I'm going to go ahead and allow myself to inch back up a little because I am feeling really slim and trim and skinny right now. And I love it, mind, body, spirit. I'm feeling, healthy and really, really good, but I don't want to get too small. And I want to stay within that range. So it's exciting. It's exciting that I'm here. In the last week, just kind of a recap of various items. Last weekend I did a big clothes clean out in my closet, and I gave away a ton of bags to the Goodwill, and I also gave away quite a few pairs of shoes. And I want to say I probably gave away about 15 to 20 pairs of shoes, and I was so inspired and got so excited as I was bringing all these spring clothes out and organizing my shoes and my sandals, and I'm getting ready to go to Florida this week, and I was just really excited about all of these warm weather clothing that I got online, and I started shopping for more like new sandals, like flip-flops and sandals and things like that. And I probably had like 8 pairs of shoes in my online shopping basket. And so I told myself, I'm gonna go to the gym. And if I go to the gym, which I hadn't been in 3 weeks, because I took the week of my marathon off from the gym, I took the week after my marathon off, and then that extended and I got lazy and I took a 3rd week off. So I hadn't been to the gym in 3 times, and I told myself, if I get to the gym, then I can go home and I can go ahead and purchase one of those pairs of shoes that I put in my shopping basket. I did actually go ahead and buy 4 pairs, but they were so cute. They were so cute, and it was time to reward myself. I haven't needed to buy a ton of clothes through this entire process because I've had so many clothes that I've just been cycling through, just smaller clothes that I've held on to over the years, and it's good to treat yourself occasionally. So I've got some fun pairs that have already arrived and one that I'm still waiting on, and I'm excited for the season to change, and I'm so excited for our trip to Florida this week. So my YouTube channel uploading is going to be a wonky one this week because I'll be in Florida. I'm not sure when I'll get my next video up. It may be late, but just kind of a heads up on that because I'm going to be out on the beach enjoying some time with my kiddos and family. Earlier this week, I had a day where I made some poor food decisions, and I had some ice cream and just various, foods that weren't really on my plan, and I did okay, like my body responded fine that day. But the next day I went running, and I started to feel a little indigestion on my run, which can be common at times. Sometimes something just feels a little off, a little funny, and I just kind of disregarded it and continued running. And I got home from my run that morning, and I jumped in the shower, and I got out of the shower, and I started feeling really, really nauseated. Just really, really bad, to the point where I went ahead and I texted my mentor and I texted another one of my colleagues, and I said, hey guys, I'm going to lay down for a little bit. I'm going to be in a little late, and I will check in with you guys and see how I'm doing in a little bit. I lay down for about 45 minutes and woke back up, and the nauseating feeling was very heavily still there. So I went downstairs and I was laying down and I started to feel the need to throw up. And I ran over to the sink and I got sick. And this throw up was not how I recall in the past throwing up or vomiting. It was like, it was dry and nothing was coming up. I hadn't had hardly anything to drink because I couldn't really drink and hydrate on my run that morning because it was so cold out, and being nauseated, I wasn't drinking. So I had nothing in my pouch, and trying to throw up, it was like this dry heaving and it was awful. The only way I can describe it, it was like a dog trying to bark without any sound coming out. And my tummy hurt so bad. I was in so much pain and went to go lay down again. It started happening again about an hour later, and I was just like, it was awful, guys. I felt so bad and I didn't know what was going on. I was like, is it kind of a delayed dumping reaction from the food choices that I'd made the day before? Is that even possible, to be delayed like, 12 to 24 hours? Or did I have a tummy bug? I wasn't sure. And again, dry heaving, nothing's coming up, a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort. Went to go lay down, and then it started coming out the other end. And I could feel that, like, indigestion, just like moving its way through my intestine. And then I went, let me tell you, it was awful. And so I went to go lay down, and I pretty much got all that out of me. And I went to go lay down, and I was so weak. I don't remember the last time that I felt so weak. And I think it was a combination of just feeling sick and then also being so dehydrated because, I'd run that morning, and I was getting so thirsty by midday. Clearly, I had text my work and said, I'm not going to make it in today. And I wanted some water so bad laying there. And I had no energy in me to get up and get a glass of water. Like, I was dying to have just a sip, and I was so weak and so lethargic. And so I laid around for pretty much the entire day. At some point I was able to get up and get myself a little sip of water. And then by late afternoon, I decided I have got to get some fluids in me. This is not healthy. This is not good for my kidneys. This is not good for me. I've got to force something down. And by then, all of the vomit and diarrhea had stopped. And so I managed to get a Premier Protein and work on that for about 4 hours. So I sipped on one Premier Protein for 4 hours. And after that, I got a couple glasses of water in. I got another Premier Protein shake. I got a yogurt and a string cheese. And I started feeling, a little bit better by about 8:30 to 9 p.m. And then I was able to return back to work the next day. Curious if any of you have experienced tummy bugs after having the gastric bypass or the VSG, and how that affected you. I was certainly extremely weak, and it was just hard because there was no, juices in my new pouch. Nothing came out. Anyway, enough about that. That was the beginning of my week, and I kept thinking, I was like, is it because of what I ate the day before, or did I just get kind of a tummy bug? Not really sure. Midweek, we experienced an ice storm, and the kids didn't have school again. We're having a lot of these ice and snow days lately, and so needless to say, I didn't go into work that day either, and I went to the gym. And I was already out and about. Actually, I was trying to go running, and that's when I realized that the roads were too icy for me to even run on. So I ended up at the gym, and I ended up on the treadmill. And it was the first time being on the treadmill in years. I cannot remember the last time. And I was kind of having a proud moment where I have been able to run through this entire winter, through all of this extreme weather, but ice, you can't run on ice. And so I got on the treadmill and I did my 8 miles, and holy cow, it is so tough on you mentally for me to be on the treadmill. I did my 8 miles, but man, it felt like 40 miles. Like, it was mentally really, really hard. It just felt like it was going on and on and on. And it just brings me so much gratitude and when I can run outdoors, because when you're outdoors, the time just flies by and you enjoy it and you have scenery, and I love being outside. I want to give a quick shout out to Mitchell in Minnesota. On his last video, he had some Boursin cheese, and I love that cheese. I forgot all about it. It's a spreadable cheese, and I started making for lunches this week lettuce wraps using the Boursin cheese and some everything but the bagel seasoning, some avocado, sometimes some olives, some tomatoes, and some turkey bacon, and it is so good. It's what I've been eating for lunch pretty much all week. I am at a place right now where I am eating fairly healthy. I'm still eating my portions that I typically do, but I'm able to sneak in some treats and sweets along the way. And with all of my running, I'm still losing weight. So it's a little bit of a concern for me in the back of my mind, thinking, okay, if I get here, if this weight continues to come off and I get to this 138 pounds, 100 pounds down, and I need to increase and go back up to stay within my range, I'm going to have to eat even more carbs or treats or things, and it's a little tricky. You've got a small little pouch, and there's only so much that fits in there, and you do get full. And so I am going to have to play a little bit more with that once I get down. I imagine my main thing is I'm going to have to just add more carbs in, because my running, I don't see that stopping at this point. I'm training for another marathon. My running brings me joy. It brings me a high. It gives me energy. I love it. I love it. I love it. By the way, I did have a subscriber ask if I could at some point do a video on kind of my running tips. I'm no pro at all. I can share with you what's worked for me, and I will try to plan on doing that sometime, possibly when I return back from my Florida vacation, because it'd be fun. It'd be fun to just chat about my journey and my experience on weight loss surgery, starting from scratch, from absolutely nothing to being able to run a marathon. I'll do what I can to share a little bit of tips and tricks along the way. There are some not so glamorous sides of losing upwards to 100 pounds. The first one is certainly loose skin. I remember years ago walking into an upscale antique shop, and I was at a very good weight for myself at the time. I weighed about 160 pounds, and I had this beautiful dress on, and I walked up to the counter, and there was a lady there, and I was buying some napkins or something. And the lady at the checkout, she looked at me and she goes, "Oh my gosh, congratulations." She said, "How far along are you?" And I said, "I'm not pregnant. Thank you though." And I could not believe that she had said that when I was not pregnant, but I had this high-waisted dress on, and I was 160 pounds, but I had a tummy. I always had a problem with my stomach area, and I had a lot of loose skin there from also just the years of going up and down. And I made a consult appointment immediately after that. And I ended up having a mommy makeover shortly after that, where I did have the tummy tuck and the breast augmentation. And so, story is, there are options for us out there, and they're pretty amazing that you have the ability that if you are lacking confidence in a certain area, you can address it, and you do have options to get plastics. My biggest area that I have, and mind you, with the plastics that I've already had, I've got a lot of areas that are nice and tight because of that, but I have a ton of loose skin in my booty, and it hangs, it droops, it's wrinkly, and I am very, very self-conscious about it. And I will be in bikinis on the beach in Florida. I do have some cover-ups that I will be probably wearing to cover up my backside at times. When I'm playing with my kids, I'm going to be playing and I'm going to be in all the way. But I will probably be wearing some of my running shorts and shorts kind of over my bottom area. The nice thing is, though, that there are options, and I do plan on making a consult appointment at some point to talk about getting a Brazilian booty lift. And it's not something I'm going to do right away. I would like to do it in the year 2020 when I turn 40 years old. However, it's definitely in the back of my mind. We're going to take a day trip to South Beach, Miami, and I know I'm going to be seeing some of those beautiful Brazilian booty lift girls there. And so it's something that I do think about. Plastics enhanced my life and confidence to a whole new level in the past, and it was probably seriously one of the best things I had ever done for me. A few other random items that are not so glamorous to losing 100 pounds. I was bringing up the laundry from downstairs, and I had the basket on my side, and it was totally digging into me. I don't have that padding on my side anymore. It like totally dug into me. When you're with a lot of people and it's a full car, guess who always is going to get volunteered to sit in the back seat? Yep. When you're skinny, when you're thinner, you're always going to be one of the ones that are scrunched in the back seat. But that's okay. I experienced this the other day. They squished 4 of us in the back seat. I was one of them, and I got to cuddle up with my daughter. Clothes are going to look baggy on you. Clothes that were tight before are going to get baggy. My size mediums right now, I'm like, I can't believe that my size medium tops are baggy on me. So I am needing to probably at some point get some more small tops. However, that's the great thing, is you get to go shopping. You get to go shopping for a whole new wardrobe. Feeling cold all the time. Let me tell you, when you don't have that insulation of skin on you, you are going to feel cold all the time. The good thing is you can layer up. You can plan vacations in warm areas. And also, when you're single like me, you get to control the thermostat in your home and set it to whatever temperature you like. Some say skinny sexy. Some say curvy sexy. Remember, what's inside and being confident is sexy. If there's something holding you back from being confident and loving yourself, I say go for it. Whether it's weight loss surgery or cosmetic surgery, it will increase the quality of your life. With that said, remember to be grateful for the things that you do have. I am so lucky that I am taking my kids on a vacation this week that I saved for, planned for, and have already paid for. I'm so lucky to work for a company that I love, at a job that I love, that gives me unlimited PTO vacation time to go rest and rejuvenate. I'm so lucky to have a family that's fairly drama-free that I get to see every single week. I'm so lucky that I have friends that I talk to daily. I am so lucky to have a cozy home that's all mine. I'm so lucky to have the health and the legs to be able to run and move and run like I did this morning, 15 miles. As we prepare in Kansas City for yet another snow blizzard tonight, I'm reminded of a quote that my friend Annie recites frequently, and that is, if you don't find joy in the snow, you will have less joy, but still the same amount of snow. Till next time.